Hi there, this is Vahid from VRF Education channel, and today I am with you with the second session of Builder Pattern in C++ and Qt framework. If you watched the previous session, you already know that Builder Pattern is a creational design pattern and let us construct complex objects step by step. Instead of creating a constructor with a lot of parameters and passing parameters based on what we need to create using that class, we're going to create some builder classes. And using that builder classes, we can build different type of object based on a code base. What does it mean? Imagine that we want to create a house with different type of options. For example, a house with garage or house with fancy statues and the other ones. Here, we need a base class named house, and then we can pass parameters to a constructor. For example, something like this. Number of windows, number of doors, rooms, and the other ones. And here, as you can see, we just pass 4 to 4 for the number of windows, doors, and rooms, and a true for garage, and null for the other ones. Or here, we just pass true for the other ones to create a complete house with all the options. This type of coding will somehow lead our programs to ugly shape, and we have some problems to maintain this code, and also it's not readable for other programmers when they want to develop our codes. This is the scenario that we can use Builder Pattern to manage our codes. Our code is getting more readable, and also we can manage it much easier through the time. So what is this pattern about? Here we can create a builder class for a concrete object. Here we want to create a house, so we add those parameters inside the constructor to some methods or some steps in these builder classes. For example, build walls, doors, and etc. Now we can call as many as the steps that we want when we want to create a house or a concrete product. In this example, it's a house. And the thing that is good about this pattern is that you don't need to call all of the steps. The step that is necessary to build a specific type of the object is just necessary. So this is the structure that Wim talked about in previous session, and also we check this scenario. It's one of the good scenarios that I've ever seen. We just create a meal builder class. We want to create two type of meals, veg meals and non-veg meals. And based on this meal builder class, we have a meal, a concrete product that contains two type of object, a burger and a cold drink, that divided by veg burger and chicken burger. Okay, and with veg burger we just have Pepsi as the drink, and for chicken burger we have Coke, for example. And I don't remember the exact combination. If you want to know about, you can just watch the previous session. Now here we want to check another structure. Here we have a couple of builder classes. So in this scenario we have only one builder class, but here we have different builder classes to build different concrete products. Okay, here we need to add another role in our structure, a director. Director accept a builder class, and based on that builder class we're gonna build a different product. Now let's go and do a practical example to see what this director role is in our structure. If this is the first pattern that you're watching on my YouTube channel, I should tell you that I create a Qt widget application for demonstration things, and I pushed it to my GitHub repository so you can download it and make use of the codes that I've written till now. And inside this project, each pattern has its own folder or directory, and the class and files related to each pattern are located inside that specific directory. For example, here we have a builder first, or builder one, that we just did the sample in previous session, and today I'm gonna create builder 2 folder. And also we have a main entrance in this project. It's a UI that in each category, for example, in creational, structure, and behavioral, I'm gonna add a couple of buttons that gonna lead us to a specific folder entry point. And now today I'm gonna add another button here. It's called BTN Builder 2, and also I'm gonna change it to BTN 2 Builder 2, and also let's change it to Builder 1. So that's it, and now let's go and create the files that we need to show what we are going to have for a second sample of builder pattern. So I'm gonna implement the house schema that we just saw in the presentation section. And for that, first I need to create a base class or an interface in other programming languages as some indicator to use between the builders and also the concrete class. So for this purpose, let's add a class, a C++ class named house plan. And also I'm gonna change the name, and let's add it to a folder named builder2. So that's it. And inside this class, I'm gonna add a couple of methods. For example, I'm gonna use set basement, set structure, set roof, set interior, and that's it for now. And also let's make them all virtual, because I'm gonna implement it somewhere else. And also I'm gonna make them pure virtual, so we don't have any implementation for this method inside the house plan, and make it to abstract class, so we cannot get an instance from this class directly. Now I'm gonna create a concrete class or project in this project named house, and this gonna inherit from house plan. So that's it. It inherit from house plan. And also let's I forgot to add a couple of parameter here. String, let's say str. Change it here, add it to all of the methods. So that's it. Just one include file, enough. And then in the house class, I'm going to implement all those methods. And then let's add the body for all these items inside the CPP file. And let's also create a couple of fields inside the private section to save these str values inside those items. So I'm gonna use some string values here, and basement, structure, roof, and the last one, interior. And then inside these CPP files, I'm going to just assign them to their equivalent values. For example, this basement equal to str. Here, this dot structure equal to str, and this dot roof equal to str, and for the last one, interior equal to str. That's it. That's our concrete class. Now I'm going to create a base class as a helper or guide for our builder classes. The name is house builder class. So it's again a base class with some virtual functions, house builder. Change the name and add it to our project. So here I'm gonna add a couple of methods. For example, void. I'm gonna add virtual after that. Void build basement and build a structure. Yeah, void build roof. We need to declare a function for all the options inside the house or our concrete class. And the other one, build interior. And at last, I'm going to create a method that's going to return the instance of house created by this builder class to the client. So I'm going to say here I'm going to return a house class, get house. That's it. And let's bring the header file here, and also mark all these classes as virtual and make them pure virtual functions. So we need to implement them somewhere else. Now I'm going to create two different type of builder. One is for igloo and the other one is for tipi houses. So the first thing I'm gonna say, I need to create an igloo house builder. This class is responsible for creating an igloo house for us. Okay, and the base class here is house builder, and I'm going to change also the name. That's it. And let's implement all these virtual methods inside this class. And also let's add their body to CPP section. And also I need to create an instance of house inside the private section. So inside the constructor, I'm gonna instantiate these values. And then inside these methods, I'm gonna call appropriate or related method to this one, to this construction method from the house instance. Jots. For example, set basement. Yeah, it's basement and set basement. And I'm gonna call the basement here is from ice bars. And also for this one, I'm gonna call house.set structure, and again ice blocks, igloo house made up totally from ice. And for build roof, again I'm gonna call that set a structure. For roof, I'm gonna say, oh, here we can just no, let's build roof, set roof, ice dome. And for interior, we can use house.set interior, ice curving. So that's it. And inside the get house, we just return this item, this instance of house from this builder class. And we're going to do the same for another type of builder class. Its name is tipi house builder. It's another type of builder class that we need for this project. Tipi house builder. So this class is responsible for creating tipi type house. Inherit from house builder again, and again I'm gonna insert virtual functions and add all the virtual function body to this class. Now let's add all those setter function here. I'm going to pause the video and get back here to you very soon. So this is the final result for tipi house. I added the related method inside each construction method and passed some appropriate parameter for this type of house. Now the next step is to create the director class. So in this example, I'm going to call it civil engineer. So a civil engineer is going to construct a type of house for us. So it's a civil engineer. This is the director in our structure. And here I'm going to accept a house builder class or instance inside the constructor. So here we have a house builder, and I'm going to call it builder. Let's import the header file and also I'm gonna add the definition outside. Let's get rid of this default constructor, and I'm gonna add a local instance. Remember to save this builder inside the constructor, and here I'm gonna builder equal to builder. So that's, and I'm gonna call a method. I'm gonna create a method named void construct house, and then I'm gonna create another method here that's gonna return an instance of a house for me. Get house. Inside this method I'm gonna call the builder return builder get house method, builder.get house. I said, okay, builder class, you just created a house, just return it for me. And then inside the construct house I can just call a method from that specific builder. For example, builder.build a statement, build a basement, and let's duplicate it, build a structure, build for example roof, and build interior. That's it. So every time that I want to use civil engineer class, I need to pass a house builder for this class, and then inside the construct house I'm going to use that builder class and call the method that I need to build for this house, this type of concrete products, and then I can get access to that specific house using get house, and this method gonna call the get house inside the builder class. And also we can customize this construct house inside our house builder classes. For example, here we have a couple of steps, but maybe inside the house igloo house we don't want to use build interior step. So I can just let's do this. Let's just first get a demo and then manipulate the structure. So I'm going to create another entry point for this builder. This time I'm going to create a cute designer form class and change it to builder to demo dialog. And inside the UI I'm going to add 3 different push buttons. This one is close and is responsible to close the dialog, btn close, and then this is igloo house, and this one is tipi house. So let's just change their name, btn tipi house, and also this one is btn igloo house. So arrange them using a vertical layout and create a predefined signal and slot for this button. If this one clicked, reject the dialog, so close the dialog, and for the other 2 I'm gonna code them manually. Go to slot, and that's okay. And before I forgot, let's go to the main window and go to slot for this button and say copy this one and paste it here. This time I'm going to use builder2 demo builder2 demo and include the header file here. So that's okay. And inside this, let's see what we're going to do. First, I'm gonna create a civil engineer class. And then in the igloo house, I'm gonna say, okay, Mr. Engineer, I'm gonna assign. No, let's create it as a pointer, and then here I'm going to say okay, equal to new a builder, a house civil engineer, and pass one instance of builder class to this one, igloo house builder. Pass one instance to this class and then call underline engineer, please construct a house for me, and then add the result to the output. Underline engineer, get the house to me, the house that you already construct, and also we can get a result from construct house. Maybe it's much better to return it right here and change the type to a pointer to a house object, and then change the function. So here I'm going to say auto house equal to construct a house, and then here I'm just going to call house dot. Let's add a method named describe, and I'm going to describe, and I'm going to call create it very soon. And also let's add the include file here and copy this code and paste it here. This time I'm gonna provide a tipi house builder, and then in the client code we are not getting into how we construct a tipi or igloo house. We just say, Mr. Engineer, construct a house based on this house builder that I provide for you and return it to me. So the client code is very short, and it's very readable for the other programmers and other developers that want to work with our code. Now let's go to house object, or it's better to be inside house plan. I'm going to create another method, virtual method, virtual, and call it QString. The return is QString, and the name is describe. Oops, I forgot to make it pure virtual. And then let's copy this one, go to house class and paste it here. And here I'm just gonna return a string, string, and it contains 4 type of information. The first one is the basement, and the other one is structure. What's the name here? You underline structure, and the other one is underline roof, and the last one is what? Interior. So that's it. Now I can call this method here, and I forgot to change it to this. Let's run the application, see the output, what we have right now. And also we should delete the previous instance here, but it's not really important right now in this sample, but you should take care for this type of checking in your code. So let's go to builder 2, and if I click igloo house, you can see that it says I created an ice bar with ice block, with ice dome, and with ice curving. And if I click tipi house, it says okay, the house is completely constructed using wood products. So again, we can click on this type, and each time it's builder class gonna do some action for us. So this is the basic implementation of this type of builder pattern using a director. Right now the director is civil engineer. Okay. Now I want to make a little bit change inside the house builder class. These are the methods that I provided right now. So sometimes maybe we need to ignore some methods. For example, TP house does not need to run this step, build interior. So let's again create another virtual method here, and the name is construct. Now I'm gonna implement it in two other builder classes inside Igloo. I'm sorry, Igloo house. We have a function named construct, and I'm gonna implement it. So here I'm just gonna call some methods, all the methods. This dot build basement, this dot build structure, this dot build roof, and also this dot build interior. And then for the other ones, for the TP house builder, I'm just gonna call three of them, not the last one. For TP house builder, yeah. Here I'm just gonna call three steps. And then inside the civil engineer or the director, instead of calling all these methods, I'm just gonna say underline or underscore builder dot construct a house for me based on the recipe that you already have, and then return the house created using this builder class for me. Now let's run the application one more time. Let's give it a little bit. If I press Igloo house, you can see everything is just as before because I called all the four steps. And if I press TP house, here we only have three steps. And we don't have anything for interior part in this type of house. This is because I just customize the way that each builder gonna work. So if you want some customized builder, you can you should put the construction things inside the builder class. But if they are just the same but different type of parameters should be passed to the concrete products, you can just call all of the steps inside the director classes and just return it to the client. So this is the way that we use builder pattern with the concrete with the director class in our code, and this is where we have different type of builder class in our structure. I hope you enjoy the content, and till the next session and another pattern, goodbye.